So get ready for some real insights, I think. We're going to unpack the differences, vocabulary, sentence structure, just the depth of thought.
Yeah, the depth is key.
And it'll all be around topics like favorite paintings, traditional art, the role of art in society, that kind of thing. Ready to dig in?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's kick things off with IELTS speaking part 2. This is where you have to talk about a topic for a bit. Here, it's about a painting you'd like to have in your home.
A classic prompt.
And the painting is Van Gogh's The Starry Night. So, first up, let's get a feel for what a Band 6 answer might sound like. I'll read it out. I would like to have a painting called Starry Night by Van Gogh in my house. I saw it for the first time in high school in a textbook. I thought it was very beautiful. The sky looked like it was moving and the colors were really bright and interesting. I don't know much about art, but this one stayed in my memory because it looked so different from other paintings I had seen before. I felt calm when I looked at it, and also a little curious. Of course, I can't buy the real painting, because it is in a museum. But maybe I can buy a copy online or at a shop. I want to put it in my room or living room. I think it would make the room feel peaceful and creative. Also, I think it's a nice way to make the home look more personal and interesting.
Okay, so what's immediately clear is, well, it's understandable. The basic fluency is there.
Right, you get the message.
You do. But if you listen a bit closer, you hear the limitations, don't you? The vocabulary. It's quite repetitive.
Yeah, beautiful, interesting, nice.
Exactly. Those words pop up again and again. And the sentences are mostly short, quite simple structure.
Yeah.
It just lacks any real development or, deeper reflection. The meaning is clear, yes, but there's not much complexity there or variety in the language used.
So it describes it, but doesn't really connect.
Precisely. It describes the painting, but it doesn't connect with it in a meaningful way.
Functional, okay, but not memorable. So now let's hear how a Band 8 response takes that same topic and really elevates it. Your turn.
All right. Here's the Band 8 take. One painting I'd love to have in my home is The Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. I first came across it during a high school art class, and I was immediately struck by the swirling skies and vibrant, emotional color palette. What fascinates me about the piece is how Van Gogh manages to convey both chaos and calm at the same time. The motion in the sky feels alive, almost turbulent, yet the quiet village below balances it out. The original is, of course, in a museum, but I'd love to purchase a high-quality reproduction to hang in my living space. I think it would serve as a constant reminder of creativity, resilience, and emotion values I try to live by. To me, art isn't just decorative. It changes the mood of a room and reflects something about the person who chose it.
Wow. Okay, you hear the difference immediately.
Right, straight away.
The language, swirling skies, vibrant palette conveys chaos and calm. It's just much richer, more precise.
Exactly. And it's fluent, well-organized. The sentence structures are varied. They keep you engaged. It flows much better.
Yeah, it does.
But crucially, it offers reflection. Abstract reasoning comes in.
Like the idea of art reflecting values, or that chaos and calm idea.
Yes. That connecting the concrete details, the swirling sky, the village, to these broader ideas. That's what makes it compelling, memorable. It's not just showing off fancy words, it's linking things together.
And the tone feels different, too, more confident.
Definitely. Confident, natural. It really helps sell the ideas being presented.
That's a really great point about connecting the concrete to the abstract. It makes the answer feel so much more, well, personal and thoughtful. How does someone actually cultivate that?
Yeah.
That ability to link a simple description to, say, deeper values or emotions?
Well, I think it often comes down to a conscious effort, really, to move beyond just what you see or what you know, and to start asking, well, what does it mean? Or how does it make me feel?
Okay.
And then, crucially, finding the precise language to actually articulate that feeling or meaning. It's almost like asking yourself, so what? After you make a basic observation. Or maybe, why does this actually matter to me?
That makes a lot of sense. That so what question. Okay, let's move on then. Part 3 of the IELTS speaking test. This is where the questions get more abstract. They demand a bit more thought.
Right, more discussion-based.
Let's look at a few Q&A pairs. Again, contrasting Band 6 and Band 8. Starting with, how do people in your country feel about art?
Okay, a broad one.
Here's a potential Band 6 answer. Some people like art, but many are too busy to enjoy it. They don't go to museums a lot. But when they do, they like the pictures.
Well, that's really just stating the obvious, isn't it?
Seems like it.
It's very general. Repeats people and Like, there's no real elaboration, no examples. It just kind of scratches the surface. Doesn't tell you much.
Okay, let's hear the Band 8 version then. This should give us more to chew on.
People's opinions about art really depend on their background and interests. While some view it as an essential part of culture, others see it as something distant or optional. However, I think public interest is growing, especially with the rise of digital and street art.
Ah, okay. That feels much more nuanced.
Definitely. It acknowledges varying perspectives right away. And listen to the words essential, distant, optional. Much more precise than just like.
Yeah.
And there's a logical flow, isn't there? It moves from general opinions to a specific contemporary trend, digital and street art. That grounds the answer.
It shows the speaker sees complexity rather than just making a simple statement.
Exactly. It acknowledges that it's not a simple yes-no situation.
Okay, that discussion on public perception leads nicely into the next comparison. Often when we talk art, music comes up too. So the question is, do people in your country prefer music over art? Band 6 first.
Let's hear it.
Yes, I think so. Music is easier to enjoy. People listen to it everywhere, like in the car or at home. But art is not something people see every day.
Again, very simple ideas. It gives a reason, but it's pretty basic.
Right. Now, the Band 8, which apparently gives a clearer comparison and better reasoning.
Yes, it draws a distinction between accessibility and how we consume them. Let's hear it. Yes, music tends to be more popular simply because it's more accessible. People can listen to music while multitasking, which makes it a part of daily life. In contrast, visual art often requires more time and focus to appreciate.
Okay, accessible, multitasking, in contrast. Those words really clarify the comparison.
You do. That precise vocabulary is key. It clearly articulates why there might be a preference. The sentence structure varies too, and the tone feels, well, more academic, but still natural.
So it's not just saying yes, it's explaining the underlying factors.
Precisely. It unpacks the reasoning behind the observation. Much stronger.
Makes sense. Okay, next question. What are some traditional art forms in your country? Here's Band 6. We have things like calligraphy and folk paintings. Some people also make traditional clothes and pottery. These are quite famous.
Quite famous. That's pretty vague, isn't it?
A bit weak, yeah.
It lists things, which is a start, but it doesn't give much insight or cultural weight.
Okay, let's compare with the Band 8.
Traditional art in my country includes calligraphy, folk painting, and handcrafted pottery. These art forms often carry symbolic meanings and reflect historical values. Textile arts, such as traditional garment design, are also widely appreciated.
Ah, okay. Carry symbolic meanings, reflect historical values. That adds a whole other layer.
Exactly. It immediately elevates the answer. The vocabulary is richer, the tone more formal, but still fitting. It goes beyond just naming things.
It explains their significance.
Yes, their cultural importance. It makes the art forms feel more real, more significant, shows understanding of their context.
Got it. Okay, this next one gets really interesting, I think. How has art changed in the past few decades in your country? Band 6 version.
Okay, change over time.
Before, art was more traditional. Now young people enjoy digital art or street art. Many people share their art on Instagram.
Right. That's a factual observation. You hear it a lot.
Yeah.
But it feels quite superficial, doesn't it?
Yeah, it says what changed, but not really how or why.
Exactly. The Band-Aid answer should dive more into the mechanisms, the broader implications.
Let's hear it. Band 8. Art has undergone a significant transformation in recent decades. While traditional techniques are still respected, there's been a surge in modern and digital art. Online platforms have also played a major role in making art more accessible and interactive.
See, the vocabulary jumps out again. Significant transformation, surge. It signals a higher level of understanding right away. And it explains the role of technology, online platforms, making art accessible and interactive.
So it's not just new types of art, it's about how people engage with it changing too.
Precisely. It's about breaking down maybe older barriers, artists connecting directly with audiences, a more participatory feel to the art scene. It shows a grasp of the bigger picture, the dynamics involved.
That's a great example of connecting a change to its actual impact. Okay, let's shift gears slightly to education. How about this question? Do you think children should study art in school? Band 6 thoughts.
Always a good topic.
Yes, it's fun and relaxing. It helps kids use their imagination and take a break from hard subjects like math.
Okay, valid point. Sure. Fun, relaxing imagination. But they're quite general, aren't they? Almost cliche.
A little bit.
They don't really dig into the deeper, maybe more specific developmental benefits. Let's hope the Band-Aid does.
All right, Band 8, definitely. Art education nurtures creativity, problem solving, and emotional awareness. It also gives children a non-academic way to express themselves and can be especially beneficial for students who may not excel in traditional subjects.
Ah, there we go. The strength here is that precise word choice again. Nurtures, problem solving, emotional awareness, non-academic.
Right, much more specific than just fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It clearly outlines these developmental benefits. It frames art as a tool for, well, holistic development. And it recognizes that kids have diverse needs, and art can play a unique role for some students.
So seeing art not just as an extra, but as a core developmental tool, okay? Building on that then, how can children benefit from learning about art? Band 6.
Let's see if it builds on fun and relaxing.
They can be more creative and learn to focus better. Also, art helps them feel less stressed and more happy in school.
Still quite basic benefits, wouldn't you say, even if they're true. Creative, focus, less stressed, happy. Still a bit general.
Okay, let's hear the Band 8 reasoning.
Art offers many developmental benefits. It helps children develop patience and attention to detail, and encourages original thinking. It also promotes emotional regulation, which is important in today's high-pressure academic environments.
Okay, patience, attention to detail, original thinking, emotional regulation. That feels much more substantial.
It does. You see more complex sentence structures emerging naturally, and that specific topic-relevant vocabulary. It connects the benefits directly to real-world challenges like those high-pressure academic environments.
Showing a deeper understanding of the context kids are in.
Yes, it's not just a list of nice things. It's a well-reasoned argument for why art matters developmentally.
Okay, final comparison. Let's look at the broader societal perspective. Do you think the government should support art and culture? Band 6 take.
The funding question. Always crucial.
Yes. If the government gives money to art, more people can enjoy it. It can help artists, too, because some of them don't earn much.
A straightforward yes, which is fine. But the justification is very simple, isn't it?
Yeah, very direct. More enjoyment, help artists earn money.
Right. It focuses on immediate, sort of tangible benefits, but maybe misses the larger societal purpose or value.
Let's see how Band 8 tackles that.
Absolutely. Government funding for art and cultural programs is crucial in preserving heritage and promoting innovation. Without support, many artists would lack the resources to share their work. It also makes art more accessible to the public, which benefits society as a whole.
Okay, preserving heritage, promoting innovation, accessible to the public, benefits society as a whole. That paints a much richer picture.
Absolutely. It presents a clear opinion, yes, but with much stronger justification. The vocabulary is more advanced, more specific to the topic.
And it frames it differently, not just about enjoyment, but about heritage, innovation, and societal benefit. It argues for art as a kind of public good, something that strengthens the community, not just something for individuals or artists alone. It makes a really compelling case for that investment.
Yeah, it really does.
So I think what we've explored today really highlights this crucial distinction, doesn't it? It's not just about, giving an answer. It's about the quality of thought and expression that actually goes into it. The Band 8 responses, they consistently show, richer, more precise vocabulary. They use varied and complex sentence structures naturally. And they clearly demonstrated an ability to offer deeper reflection, abstract reasoning.
That connection piece again.
Yes. And that confident sort of academic but still mature and natural tone, combined with well-developed, insightful ideas, often backed up by examples, that really makes all the difference in how your message lands, how it's received. That is a really powerful takeaway, and I think this is where this whole deep dive comes back to you, the listener, because these principles, they aren't just for some English test, are they?
Not at all. They're universal.
They're for any situation where you want your ideas to truly land. Maybe it's a critical meeting at work, maybe just a casual chat with a friend, or even when you're just sharing something new you've learned. Think about how you can apply these takeaways.
Yes, consciously think about it.
Could you maybe swap out a generic word you often use for one that's more precise? Are you connecting your specific points to a bigger idea, that so what factor? So here's a final thought to maybe mull over. If just elevating your language and your depth of thought can totally transform how a simple answer about a painting is received, what opportunities does that open up? How could it change how you engage with and articulate any complex topic in your daily life? And maybe, just maybe, how might that change the way you perceive the world around you?